Myself AK Agrawal. Today we discuss the vector quantity and its type. Physical quantities are classified into two types, scalar quantities and the vector quantities, according to their magnitude and the direction. Those physical quantities which need only magnitude to define itself is called scalar quantity. As you are aware of the fact, if you go to the shop and you ask for, okay, give me 1 kg of rice, you need not to define the direction. But if you are moving somewhere, if someone asks how far this distance is, you have to define, okay, in the right direction it is of 3 km or 5 km, whatever it is. So displacement is a vector quantity. It means for displacement you need to define the direction as well as the magnitude, as you have told two things, in right direction and 5 km or 3 km. So physical quantities are just classified in two parts, scalar and vector. Some example of scalar quantities are length, mass, time, temperature. These are some scalar quantities which we do not define direction to represent it. But for vector quantities like displacement, force, momentum, you have to define the direction also. You have to define in which direction or in which way you are going to move. So vector quantities are those physical quantities which need magnitude as well as direction for representation of a vector quantity. Now we will discuss how a vector quantity is geographically represented. So geographical representation of a vector quantity. For this, suppose you are this is a plane where you are moving from a point to A point to B point. You can move in any of the way, in any of the path. Suppose I just draw a path by which you are moving from point A to B, and someone asked you what is the displacement. As we are aware of the fact, displacement is a vector quantity. So how we represent displacement in this example? So geographically we defined a vector quantity by a directed line segment. You have to draw a directional line segment for which started from A and end up to the B points. So this AB line, whose direction is from A to B and its magnitude is the shortest distance between the point A and B. To represent it, you have to write AB, A to B, and you have to carry an arrow over it. So this AB over arrow represent the displacement of the particle when it moves from A point to B point. And if you place the modulus of AB vector, this lines, when we put across the vectors, it gives us the modulus of vector. We read this AB modulus and it will give the line length of the line segment, numerical value of the line segments. So this is basically a representation how you represent a vector quantity. For this, now we discuss the different types of vector quantities. We are just rubbing it and started with the different types of vector quantities. When I am moving to types of vector, The first type is co-initial vector. When I am saying co-initial vector, what is co-initial vector? The vectors which started from the same point, which have the same original. All such vectors are called co-initial vectors. Like suppose this is an origination O, and if you draw a vector OA vector, OB vector, OC vector, these all vector represent here co-initial vectors. Co-initial vector may or may not be coplanar also. When I am talking about the coplanar, we will discuss later. But all vectors which started from the same point are called co-initial. If you want to find out the angle between the two vectors, you have to make the two vectors co-initial. The second one, when you move to the second one, this is coterminal vectors. What are coterminal vectors? Those vectors which end up to the same point, I say end up to the same points. Those vectors which end up to the same points are called coterminal vectors. So you can see here all these vectors which are terminating to same points are called coterminal vectors. So here AO vectors, BO vectors, CO vectors, these all vectors are coterminal vectors. Third one. So I think you understand what is co-initial and coterminal vectors. Now we are moving to the like vectors. What are like vectors? When two vectors are parallel, means in the same direction, their magnitudes may or may not be the same, then they are called like vectors. Suppose here I am just drawing two like vectors. Suppose this is AB vector and this is CD vector. So you have to write AB vectors and CD vectors are like vectors. These two are the like vectors. If the magnitude of two like vectors are same, they are called equal vectors. If the magnitude of two like vectors are same, I am just equating the magnitude of these two like vectors. If it happened, then I can say AB vectors is equals to the CD vectors. For that, you have to draw two, it means their line segments, their magnitudes are same. Then I can say AB vector and CD vectors, AB and CD are two equal vectors. Now, what is unlike vector? Unlike vectors are anti-parallel vectors. Those vectors which are parallel but opposite in direction, they are called unlike vectors. Here I am just representing two unlike vectors, AB vector and CD vector. You can see in the diagram their direction are opposite to each other. So these two vectors are called unlike vector. If the magnitude of two unlike vector are also equal, then the second vector is called negative of the first one, or first one is called negative of the second one. So if you want to draw a negative vectors, what you have to do? You have to draw an unlike vectors. equal in magnitude. So whenever it is asked कि draw in negative vectors or vectors equals to it in opposite direction, you just reverse its direction, and with equal line segments you can find a negative vectors. So suppose if I want to draw, suppose this is a vector, and if I want to draw of negative of it, what I have to do? I have to draw an unlike vectors equal in magnitude, so I can write it like minus AB. This vector is negative of A vectors because its magnitude are same but direction is reverse. So this is called unlike vector. As we discussed about the co-initial vector, co-terminal vectors, like vectors, unlike vectors, now there are certain more types of vectors we will discuss one by one. Fifth one. What is coplanar vectors? I am talking about the coplanar. As the name suggests, coplanar, plane, those vectors which lies on a single plane. Those all vectors are called coplanar vectors. You can see I am drawing different vectors. They are not co-initial, they are not co-terminal, they are not like, they are not unlike. But what are they? They lies, suppose, on xy plane. So if all these vectors lies in a single plane, they are called coplanar vectors. The question arises, how many minimum numbers of the vectors can be coplanar? I just say 2. Minimum number of coplanar vectors will be 2. It may be any numbers, but if you are going with the minimum numbers, it will be 2. So after the coplanar vectors, we again define another vectors called null vectors. What is null vectors? Those vectors whose starting points and the end points are the same. It means original and termination points are same. All such vectors are called null vector, as its line if you start with the same point and end up with the same points, the minimum distance between these two will be 0. So its magnitude will be 0. So such number will be defined like OO vectors or A vectors. In diagram you can see if we start with O point and end up with the O points, same points. So displacement will be a null vectors because the initial and the final point will be the same. So simply, actually it is its magnitude is 0 and it has any arbitrary directions. Now we will discuss a very important vectors which is called unit vectors. You have to understand what is unit vector. Unit vectors have a magnitude of 1 and it has a direction of vectors, whatever vector you are taking. In simply, if you are taking the x, y, z coordinate, you need to define what is you need to define the direction of OX, means along the x-axis. So for your simplicity, you are taking an unit vector along OX vector, which is you generally taken as I cap. Any unit vector is defined by putting an cap on a vector quantity. So it means if you are writing AV vector, if I am reading this part AV vectors, then AB cap is defined as the unit vectors along AB. How can you find out the unit vector? If you want to find out the unit vector, suppose you want to find out the AB cap, what you have to do? You have to divide the vector by its magnitude. It means AB vector is divided by magnitude of the AB vector. If you divide the magnitude, if you divide the vector by its magnitude, you can get the unit vector. For a simple example, I'm just taking, suppose a vector in the form of I, j and k cap. Suppose the relation is 2i cap plus 3j cap minus k cap. Or I can say AB vector, okay? I am taking AB vector. How can you define the magnitude of AB vector? For this magnitude, you have to find out the length of this vector. And how you will get the length? So you have to put under root and you have to take in a constant with I cap, that is here 2. So you have to square 2 plus with j, what is the magnitude of j cap? With the j cap it's 3. You have to add it by squaring it, plus what is the magnitude with k cap? It's minus 1. So you have to square the minus 1. So when you add all these three, you get 9, 1, 10 and 4, it's 14, under root of 14. So here under root of 14 is the magnitude of AB vectors. So if you want to find out the AB cap or unit vector along AB, it will be represented like 2i cap plus 3j cap minus k cap divided by under root of 14. So you can simply write 2 under root 14 I cap plus 3 by under root 14 j cap minus 1 by under root 14 k cap. So this will now gives you a unit vector whose magnitude is 1 and whose direction will represent the same as AB vectors. If you want to find out the magnitude of AB vectors, it will always be 1 because unit vector is defined in that way. Now, what is the axial vectors? Here I just before starting the axial vectors, I just want to add the simplest Cartesian notation we use is x, y and z axis, x axis, y axis and z axis. To represent these directions, we simply consider some unit vectors along these directions. So if I want to represent the OX direction, it means x axis, I just it is already considered, it is standards, we consider an I cap. So it means I cap is a unit vectors whose magnitude is 1 and it is always defined the x direction. It means OX. It means OX along the OX direction. And j cap is a unit vector which is always pointing towards the y direction. And here is another unit vector we consider k cap, which is always along the z direction. So suppose anyway, I'm just taking some examples. Suppose the force is given by 2i cap. It means the force is applying along x direction. I cap here will representing the direction along the x-axis and 2 here is giving you the magnitude. It means 2 Newton of force is applying along the x direction. Suppose there certain electric field is given and it is given minus 5 j cap Newton per Coulomb. So you can see here the electric field is given like minus 5 j cap. Here 5 will definitely give you the magnitude of electric field here and minus j cap will give you the direction. It means the electric field is pointing towards the negative direction of y-axis. So you have to consider in which direction the electric field actually pointing out. Suppose I'm just taking another answer. Velocity is given by 10 k cap meter per second. Here meter per second is the unit of velocity. So here you can see 10 is what? 10 is the magnitude of the velocity, and k cap here will give you the direction along the z axis. So clearly you can see these I cap, j cap and k cap are very helpful in finding the directions. Now we discuss the what is axial vector actually. Axial vectors, those vectors which are either along x-axis, y-axis or z-axis, or any parallel to any given axis that is provided in the questions. Those vectors are called axial vectors. So first of all we define it is also one dimension vector. It is also defined one dimension vector. As we discussed, it can be along the x-axis like OX. For an example, if you are writing AI cap is a axial vectors which is along the x-axis and whose magnitude is A and its direction is I cap. The direction given by I cap. Similarly, if I want to represent a direction B j cap, definitely it will give you an example of axial vectors which is along the y-axis, and another one you can see along the z-axis. Suppose this is kk cap. Kk cap, ck cap will represent you the direction along the z-axis. And suppose if someone like a particle is rotating about any given axis, so angular velocities, torque, these angles, these are also called axial vectors because its direction is always along the axis along which the particle is rotating. So these vectors are called one-dimensional axial vectors. The second one is called plane vectors. Now we will discuss what is the plane vector. In plane vector, the vector which is along a plane. Suppose I am just taking an example of xy plane. Any vector which is neither along the x-axis nor along the y-axis but it lies on xy plane. Suppose I am just taking an example of OA vector. Definitely it is not along the x-axis, not along the y-axis, but it is in between them. How can you represent this vector? Suppose I am taking an example A vectors, then I have to retain it like I have to just resolve this vector along x-axis and along y-axis. So what is the Cartesian form of this vector? So I have to represent ax I cap plus ay j cap. Ax here will give you the projection of vector A on x-axis, and ay here is give you the projection of A vector on y-axis. So any vectors you can represent it along the x or y-axis in a plane by putting some projections on the given axis. How can you find out the angle of this vector from the x-axis? Let theta be the angle of this vector A with x-axis. So how can you find this angle? If you want to find out the cos theta, this cos theta, because it is with the x-axis, you have to take the coefficient along the x-axis ax and you have to divide by the magnitude of vector A. It means you have to write down it ax divided by under root of ax square plus ay square. If you want to find out the angle of the vector with the x-axis, you have to write a tan theta. Tan theta will be given by the projection on y-axis divided by projection on x-axis. So you have to write it by ay upon ax. So in this way you can find the vectors along on a plane yz, zx. So you have to move like that. The third one is called space vector. If you want to discuss the space vector, when I am moving for the space vector, it is worth noting it should be not in the plane. but it should be in the space. So it is basically a three-dimensional vector. When you representing a three-dimensional vectors, you have to take all three Cartesian plane like ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. This is simple, easy notation of a vector space vectors. Here it forms some angle with the x-axis, with the y-axis, and with the z-axis. These angles basically are called direction cosines. How can you find out the direction cosine? For finding the direction cosine, cos alpha here is representing the angle of the vector with the x-axis. So if you want to find out cos alpha, you have to write down like ax equals to ax divided by ax square plus ay square plus az square, magnitude of the a vectors. Here I will draw a diagram also. Suppose this is a vector A and its x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So alpha is the angle that this vector makes with the x-axis. I am just taking another angle with beta. This is the angle that this vectors make with the y-axis, and another angle is gamma, the angle of the vector with the z-axis. So cosine of these vectors is called direction cosine. As you discussed cos alpha, similarly cos beta, if you want to write down cos beta, it is a by under root of a x square plus ay square plus a z square, and similarly cos gamma, which is also equals to az divided by magnitude of a vectors. So in this way you can find out the angle of this vector with different axes. So that's it. So here now you understand what are the type of vector, how to move with the vectors. If you want to operating the vectors, we will discuss it later. Thank you.